Chiron in the eighth house. In this video, I'm going to be discussing Chiron in the eighth house, everything you need to know about this placement, and how to master Chiron in the eighth house. Now, keep in mind that every single thing that I discuss may not apply to you if you have Chiron in the eighth house, but the things that I discuss are directly related to the Chiron in the eighth house experience and what you can expect when someone has their Chiron in the eighth house. Now, I'd like for you to stick around all the way to the end so you can learn about the astrology services that I provide. But as far as right now, let's discuss Chiron in the eighth house and everything you can expect with this placement. Now, this placement indicates wounds being associated with sex, intimacy, debt, and shared resources that have to be overcome. Chiron tells us what our wounds are associated with. The eighth house has to do with sex, intimacy, debt, and shared resources. So when you have this placement, this is what your wounds are associated with: sex, intimacy, debt, and shared resources, and you have to overcome these wounds. You have to make wise decisions as it relates to debt and shared resources, or if not, they become wounding experiences. Okay, so when you have this placement, it's very important that you make wise decisions as it relates to debt and shared resources, or if not, they become wounding experiences, meaning that if you're foolish with debt and shared resources, and you get involved with debt and shared resources without understanding what you're doing, it can become a wounding experience. Overcoming sex and intimacy wounds become a healing experience for you. So, like I said before, when you have displacement, your wounds tend to be associated with sex and intimacy. Now, but when you overcome these sex and intimacy wounds, that becomes a healing experience for you. So maybe you go to therapy and you overcome these wounds, and that becomes a very healing experience. Helping others to heal their difficulties with debt and sex and intimacy is healing for you, okay? So Chiron tells what our wounds are associated with and how we go on to help others with those same wounds. So helping others to heal their difficulties with debt and sex and intimacy is healing for you. Leveraging debt and getting involved with shared resources with others is healing for you. So when you learn how to master the whole concept of leveraging debt and getting involved with shared resources and resources that involve others, when you learn how to do that, that becomes healing for you and a healing experience. Matters that involve the occult and taboo matters are healing for you as well. The eighth house has to do with the occult and taboo matters. So matters that involve the occult and things that are considered taboo are healing for you as well. Best example of this: banker, finance expert, sex therapist, and occult master. These are just a few of the things that I thought of that represent the Chiron in the eighth house experience. This is similar to having natal Chiron in Scorpio because Scorpio rules the eighth house. So when you have this placement, you want to make sure you study natal Chiron in Scorpio as well because Scorpio rules the eighth house, and you will find that natal Chiron and Scorpio descriptions resonate with you as well. I did a full video breaking down natal Chiron and Scorpio in detail. I'm going to leave a link for that in the description box. Make sure you check that out. And this is pretty much everything that you need to know about Chiron in the eighth house, right? AZTV Astrology Services. I do natal chart readings, transit readings, synastry readings, career readings, and you can email me at astrologyztv@gmail.com to schedule, or you can find me at the AZTV on IG. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Thank you for watching. Take care.